So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stab wounds.
116, I need units now.
The sergeant's doing CPR on one of the males. He's been run over and he's been stabbed. He doesn't look like he's breathing.
A night of drinking at a busy pub turned into chaos that quickly spiraled out of control. Within moments, 3 people were stabbed and another was run over by a car, leaving the street looking like a crime scene. Investigators later uncovered shocking details that felt straight out of a horror movie, except this was no fiction.
It's crazy. That's some intention. Like, that should be a film.
CCTV captured everything more clearly than any witness account could. A frantic emergency call described cars ramming through the street, smashing into vehicles, and a man left dead on the ground.
His main speak. Quick, somebody's dead. Get to Typhon Road now. Someone's dead. But cars have been up and down. They smashed all the cars up and they've run over someone. He's dead. He's in the road. If they find out I'm on the phone to you, I'm in trouble.
How did an ordinary night explode into such brutal violence? On November 13, 2022, emergency crews in Bedfordshire, England, rushed to a scene after a desperate call for help.
Close the road, use the van, close the road!
Where's he bleeding?
I've just been called back, I can't hear what's going on.
Go get me the medical bag.
What they found was far worse than expected. In the middle of the road, 2 men lay critically injured, surrounded by blood. Both had been stabbed multiple times, and one had also been struck by a vehicle. The victims were identified as 27-year-old Patrick Howard and 26-year-old Mason Jordan. Patrick's wounds were fatal, and he died at the scene. Mason, stabbed in the neck, back, and chest, was barely alive. Investigators quickly realized this was no ordinary stabbing.
We're going to get in the way, all right?
You can see where the tire marks have gone over.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys just to do a little walk round down that way, see if you've got any more victims here?
As officers worked to help Patrick Howard and Mason Jordan, a witness alerted them to another body just a few yards away.
We didn't know he was there. We've been trying to save them too. We didn't even know he was there.
You don't need to worry about that.
We didn't even know he was there. He's been on his own that whole time.
The third victim, 39-year-old Adam Finelli, had already died from his injuries before help arrived, turning what initially seemed like a double attack into a deadly triple assault. Evidence at the scene revealed extreme brutality, with tire marks showing a car had been deliberately driven over the victims. Investigators focused on the Crown pub where the incident began.
Seeing what happened, but we just see these boys on the floor and the one in the pink jumper just screaming, my mate's dead, you can clearly see.
Witnesses described a confrontation spilling outside, providing the first lead. Door-to-door inquiries and CCTV checks showed limited views from nearby houses, but the pub's cameras captured crucial footage.
We went to his mate's, or was our mate's baby reveal, and we was all there. Everyone was having a good night, having a laugh together, you know what I mean? Nick Blackworth and Pat, they know each other.
Hours earlier, Patrick and Mason were seen laughing with friends inside. Tensions rose when Nicholas Papworth entered, and Mason was pulled out of frame during a fight.
When we was in that pub, Pat was in the pool area and Nick and Pat was actually having a laugh together, like slapping each other on the head, like joking about, having a laugh. But then obviously Mason, which is Pat's friend, he had a fight with Nick.
He gets pulled to the other side of the pub and you can't see it, goes out shot.
Outside, Patrick and Mason were followed by a silver BMW and a black VW Golf. CCTV showed a man stabbing Patrick and killing Adam, while another suspect ran Patrick over, leaving Mason critically injured.
What's happened? Get out of the room, Scott. Don't worry about me. Go there.
Investigators quickly realized they needed more than just direction. They needed a name. A witness eventually came forward, revealing that a man named Nick had been driving one of the cars involved in the attack. Though she only knew his first name, it gave detectives their first solid lead.
I'm so sorry to bother you so late. Have you heard or witnessed anything in relation to an incident that happened down the road?
No, nothing, no.
No.
Okay, but please don't you know anything.
Nick who?
What, driving a car? Nick. Knock the door and ask them who it was. A guy called Nick was driving a car. What do we know about Nick? I don't give a bog of grass. That's it. That's all she knows. A guy called Nick was driving a car.
The pieces were starting to fit. Pub footage, the vehicles, and now a suspect's name. The next step was to identify who had been behind the wheel of the car that ran over one of the victims.
My door's open. That door's open. He's in there. Go, go, go. Police! Stay where you are now! Turn hands on the floor! Hands behind right now! Hands behind your back!
Oh my God! You stop me! Oh my God!
Nick was located and arrested without incident, quietly taken to the station for questioning. During processing, he admitted to recent cocaine use and occasional depression.
Yeah. Okay. You had any drugs?
Cannabis.
Okay.
I had cocaine on the weekend.
Do you suffer with any mental health issues?
Bit depressed here and there, but you ain't.
So, are you diagnosed with depression? But you do get a bit low, yeah?
Officers also found a key in his jacket, likely for the black VW Golf seen during the attack, although the car itself was missing. Nick remained silent and under close guard, while detectives prepared to build a stronger case before moving forward with a full interrogation. Nick was brought in for questioning, sitting calmly but remaining guarded as detectives pressed him about the murders of Patrick Howard and Adam Finelli, and the attempted murder of Mason Jordan. He refused to answer.
Are you responsible for the murder of Patrick Howard?
No comment.
Okay. Are you responsible for the murder of Adam Finelli?
No comment.
Okay. Are you responsible for the attempted murder of Mason Jordan?
No comment.
You've been identified, you've been named. Witnesses have seen you being involved in a fight.
Maintaining silence despite being identified by witnesses and linked to the pub fight that triggered the deadly events. Investigators, meanwhile, were building a detailed timeline.
And I think that you've got extremely angry because you've been disrespected in your pub. The comments you're making that have been heard by two witnesses, I'm going to get you and you're going to get it. I think that's you telling them what your intentions are.
No comment.
Okay.
Were you out to get them?
No comment.
Were you looking for them?
No comment.
Did you have anybody else looking for them?
No comment.
Phone records revealed repeated contact between Nick and a man named Curtis Long on the night of the attack. Calls at 1:41 a.m. and again 15 minutes later suggested coordination between the two. Detectives acted quickly, arresting Curtis Long. Unlike Nick, Curtis appeared nervous and unsure. Both men were taken into custody, with officers warning them that anything they said could be used as evidence. The connections between Nick, Curtis, and the events of that night were becoming clearer, setting the stage for a deeper investigation.
I'm not moving nowhere. What's your name? Curtis Long.
I've got a couple there.
Yeah, Curtis Long. I'm just going from work. Curtis, at the moment, mate, you're going to be placed under arrest, okay?
What for?
For murder. You didn't have
Murder?
Mate, I'm mention one question.
No.
Anything you do say may be good evidence, all right? Yeah, downstairs. Yeah. I'll give you the grounds in a second, all right?
Both Nick and Curtis were now in custody as detectives prepared to see who would break first.
What happened on the early hours of the morning of the 13th of November?
It reminds you have a right to go and accompany to no comment. Okay.
Were you in Tide Farm Road at 01:15 hours or around that time on the 13th of November?
No comment.
Did you run anybody over in your car at that location?
During questioning, Curtis refused to answer, remaining silent even when confronted with evidence linking him to the events of the early hours of November 13th on Tide Farm Road.
What we do know from call data in relation to your phone is that at 00:46 on the 13th of November, Mr. Papworth calls you. Then at 01:14 hours, he calls you again, and at 01:16 hours, he calls you again for a 47-second call. What can you tell me about those calls?
Phone records showed multiple calls between him and Nick minutes after the pub incident, and CCTV placed Curtis near the scene, yet he continued to deny involvement. During a brief break, the two men were caught on camera attempting to communicate, revealing their anxiety and concern over the investigation.
I know, bro.
Just remember, yeah, man. This is what my sister says. It's not what we can. It's not what we say. It's what they can prove, man. They can't prove we murdered no one.
The next day, Curtis's second interview offered more clarity. He admitted he had been driving that night, but insisted he was only looking for a friend and had not intended to get involved.
See, that video is crazy. That's crazy.
That's horrific.
So that's some intention. Like, that should be a film. You know what I mean? Because that shit shouldn't be real.
But unfortunately, it is real.
I know.
And that's the problem. How did it come about that you are driving about at that time in the morning looking for people?
You can answer that. I was looking for my friend. Okay. I was going back to his house. I was going to watch UFC.
Okay.
I got at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So I was already late.
Yep.
I was falling asleep with my son in bed.
Yep.
That's when I got a phone call saying about comms for UFC and whatnot.
After your vehicle turns onto the driveway, as we can see, it drives back down the road. And obviously, he is already on the floor, having been dragged in the road.
Forensic tests on his BMW revealed no blood, damage, or direct connection to the attacks, suggesting he was more of a bystander than a perpetrator. Meanwhile, detectives found a burned-out car matching the vehicle used in the assault just 2 miles away. Dashcam and CCTV footage of a silver BMW led to a breakthrough. The car was registered to Anthony Benison, a name that would change the investigation and point to the true killer. A special investigation team was quickly deployed, and within days, Anthony Benison was tracked to a flat. Armed officers approached carefully, giving instructions for him to exit safely.
Well, anyone else inside flat 3? It's the armed police! Come and open the door slowly with nothing in your hands. Just do exactly as I say. Show me your hands, both hands. Slowly walk towards me. Stop. Turn to your right and face that wall. On the way to your left, turn around, fella. We're not going to hurt you, mate. Put your hands against that wall. Stay exactly as you are. You understand me?
Anthony was captured without incident and immediately brought in for questioning about the murders of Patrick Howard and Adam Finelli and the attempted murder of Mason Jordan.
Did you murder Patrick Howard? Did you murder Adam Finelli? Did you attempt to murder Mason Jordan?
Initially, he tried to remain calm, but as the interrogation progressed, his composure began to crack. Detectives asked about his presence at the Crown Public House in Han Regis on Saturday, November 12th, and who he was with. Investigators attempted to elicit a confession by showing Anthony CCTV footage from the crime scene. The footage was graphic, clearly documenting the sequence of attacks, yet Anthony offered little explanation.
Did you know that that bit happened? Tell us, Anthony.
The interrogation raised more questions than answers, but detectives had already recovered the silver BMW used during the attack. Forensic examination revealed blood on the driver's door release, the front passenger area, and around the armrest. The rear roof was caved in, adding to the evidence connecting the vehicle to the crime.
Having looked in the boot, there's a bag and it's got sort of like clothing in it.
The scientists have found some blood on the driver's door release. There's more blood on the front passenger area, and again, I found blood around the door handle, door release, and sort of armrest. Interestingly, it's got the rear of the roof caved in, which I wasn't expecting to see.
During a search of Anthony's flat, detectives discovered a handwritten letter addressed to his grandparents. Though unfinished, the letter revealed remorse and gratitude, as well as a glimpse into Anthony's state of mind. He acknowledged the impact of his actions and expressed regret, but it did not directly reference the murders. The discovery of the letter added a human element to the investigation, giving detectives insight into the suspect's personal life and motivations.
He's written what looks like the start of a letter to his grandparents that is as good as a cough. So give us 2 minutes, I'll get that across to you.
Back in the interrogation room, detectives confronted Anthony with the letter. He confirmed that he had written it, though it remained unclear if it was meant as an apology for his actions.
Officers have found a letter that's written to Nan and Grandad. Is that a letter that you've written? It's a handwritten letter. It looks unfinished to me. I'm just going to read it out. Nan and Grandad, I don't even know how to start this. I wish I could come and give you a hug right now. I never thought my life would turn into this, and I don't know how you're going to feel towards me when you hear what I've done. I just want to thank you for everything you guys have done for me. For my whole life, you practically brought me up. Grandad, I've always looked to you as my father figure, and I'm sorry for everything that's happened. I'm probably never going to see you guys again, and I don't even know how to put everything into this.
Following this, Anthony provided a prepared statement describing his version of the events leading up to the attacks. He admitted to attending the Crown pub around 7:30 p.m., having a cigarette outside and then returning inside. According to him, a fight broke out involving a mixed-race man, which left him upset.
Anthony's asked me to do a prepared statement, which I'm going to read out now. I can confirm I attended the Crown Public Health Fountain Regis at approximately 19:30 hours. I went out and had a cigarette, returned inside the pub, and I was told a mixed-race guy had just started a fight. I then decided to go for a drive. I was upset at what I had seen. I started driving along. I saw 3 males. I think they were from the same group. In seconds, they surrounded the car and started smashing my car up.
He left the pub and began driving along nearby roads. Anthony explained that he encountered 3 males who appeared to surround his car. In seconds, they allegedly began damaging his vehicle, smashing windows and frightening him. Feeling threatened, he drove away, hitting the Crown pub's car park in the process. Later, he returned to see if he could confront them about the damage.
I managed to drive past them, and because the car was damaged, I drove into the Crown pub car park. I got out and looked at my car. I decided to get back in my car and drive to see if I could find them, to ask why you took it upon yourselves to smash my car up for no reason. I saw a large group in Tithe Farm Road. I saw the same mixed-race male involved in the initial incidents coming towards me. I got out of my car and chased the mixed-race male. I went to swing for him with a punch. I then fell over.
Anthony claimed he saw the same group again on Tide Farm Road, including the individual involved in the initial pub altercation. He attempted to engage, swinging at one of them, but falling during the struggle. He stated that in the chaos he noticed a knife and was punched while getting back up, surrounded by the group.
As I fell, I noticed one of them had dropped a knife. I then remember getting punched in the face whilst getting up with something. I had a scuffle with someone who was part of that group. I was surrounded by the group. I was very scared, and it was a case of self-preservation. Honestly, I believe I was going to get seriously hurt or killed.
He maintained that his actions were motivated by self-preservation and fear for his life. While Anthony's confession placed him at the scene and described a violent confrontation, it remained unclear whether anger, fear, or desperation had driven him to commit murder.
So you were angry? Saw red? I just want to understand, if you were in that much fear for your life, why would you go chasing after these people?
I don't even remember half of this stuff.
Okay.
It literally happened for that second.
Meanwhile, Nick, the other main suspect, continued to plead not guilty. Investigators began exploring his personal life and discovered factors that may have influenced his denial. Nick's daughter became a focal point, suggesting that family responsibilities and a desire to appear untouchable played a role in his actions and statements.
Hello? You alright? I'm alright. How was school? It's alright. Are you, you're going into a foster care home, ain't you? Are you okay with that? Yeah? It is the best option for now. I love you so much. I'll see you soon, okay? I love you.
And literally within 10 seconds later, I see a car.
Forensic and CCTV evidence continued to play a critical role. Dashcam footage and surveillance captured Nick's vehicle near the scene, and a burned-out car matching the attack vehicle was later found just 2 miles away. With Curtis Long fading as a suspect after forensic tests showed no blood, no damage, and no direct link to the killings, investigators focused on Anthony and Nick. CCTV from the area showed a man in a puffer jacket entering the BMW near the scene, providing further evidence of Anthony's involvement. Back at the hospital, Mason Jordan's testimony became pivotal. He described the attack in detail, confirming that Patrick Howard had been struck by a car and dragged along the road for several houses. Mason's account made it clear that the attack had been deliberate and planned, not a spontaneous escalation of a fight. He also confirmed that the confrontation at the pub earlier that night involved Nick, and at the center of the incident was a woman who had accompanied him.
Full throttle. I watched it just hit Pat as he's laying lifeless on the floor as it is. To the extent that the car's come off the ground. and Pat's probably travelled 4 length of houses down the road. He's being dragged under the car now, yeah? Just lay next to him and hugged him. I still remember hugging him. I just wanted a response from him, man.
While the details surrounding her involvement remained murky, Mason's statement provided a clear motive and painted the attack as intentional. Anthony's interrogation, combined with forensic evidence, witness accounts, and CCTV, established a strong timeline of events. He had been at the pub the night before, witnessed a fight, and left in anger. His return to the area and the violent escalation that followed suggested a deliberate decision to confront the group. The scuffle, use of the BMW, and subsequent injuries and deaths were all documented in evidence, leaving investigators with a clear narrative of premeditation. Nick's role, while complicated by family considerations and his continued denials, could not be ignored. Investigators examined his movements, connections to the pub altercation, and presence at the scene. Phone records, witness accounts, and vehicle tracking showed a link to Anthony and Curtis, highlighting a coordinated sequence of events. The contrast between Anthony's confession and Nick's silence added tension and urgency to the investigation, suggesting different motivations and levels of involvement. The discovery of the silver BMW, the letter to Anthony's grandparents, and Mason's testimony brought clarity to an otherwise chaotic case. It revealed not only the sequence of events, but also the human elements behind the tragedy: fear, anger, loyalty, and personal relationships, all contributing to a violent outcome. The evidence confirmed that the attack on Patrick Howard, Adam Finelli, and Mason Jordan was neither random nor accidental. It was a planned, deliberate act rooted in prior conflict, carried out in a way that shocked witnesses and law enforcement alike. With the case now supported by CCTV, forensic evidence, witness accounts, and Anthony's own statements, the investigation moved toward trial. The combined accounts painted a full picture. A night of tension at the Crown Pub escalated into a calculated assault on the street, resulting in 2 deaths and 1 life-threatening injury. The story revealed the interplay between fear, anger, and human decision-making, ultimately culminating in a violent, avoidable tragedy. The stage was set for the courtroom. Anthony's recorded confession, the letter, the recovered BMW, and Mason's eyewitness testimony all formed the foundation of the prosecution. Nick's continued denials contrasted with Anthony's admissions, providing a complex narrative for jurors. What had started as a pub fight ended with a brutal, coordinated attack, uncovering a story of planning, fear, and personal grievance that would not soon be forgotten. The trial brought the case to a dramatic conclusion. Anthony Benison pleaded self-defense, claiming his actions were motivated by fear for his life. Despite his defense, the jury found the evidence overwhelmingly against him. He was convicted of the murders of Patrick Howard and Adam Finelli, as well as the attempted murder of Mason Jordan, and was sentenced to 38 years in prison. Nicholas Papworth was also convicted for his role in the attacks and received a 34-year prison sentence. The courtroom closure marked the end of a long, harrowing investigation, but it also brought a sense of justice for the victims and their families. Authorities reminded the community that while the events had shocked Teton Regis, the town was not defined by this tragedy. Residents and officials emphasized the importance of peace, reconciliation, and moving forward together.
We come to say this is not what Houghton Regis is known for, nor do we want it to be known for this in the future, as together we seek peace and reconciliation, justice and hope.
The case served as a stark reminder of the consequences of violence, the value of careful investigation, and the power of accountability. For those following this case and wanting to stay updated on similar investigations, make sure to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll get the latest stories on major cases, breaking news, and in-depth analyses of real-life events that shape communities. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now.